Steve, episode 13, the Broadway block. It was a rough one for the Rangers, 6-1 to the Isles. They came out strong. We definitely looked like we had just played the Devils for 4 games, and the Islanders looked like, hey, we're playing some playoff hockey, and we're going to make you know about it. What did you think we needed to do differently in that game, Steve?
Well, it was another game that we get outshot. Poor performances on face-off percentages. Strome losing 10 and winning 4 to JG Pageau having won 10 and lost 4. So big difference makers in their face-off percentages. Another goal coming off of their the last time we talked about the Islanders game, the Leddy shot, the Brock Nelson deflection. They know how to get those greasy goals, and it started like 3 minutes in, so it was pretty off to the races for them. And then we take some bad penalties. It was a combination of letting them get their chances, which they had been a team struggling to score goals lately, so you knew that they were going to be thirsty for a couple. You talk about the goal that we scored. Definitely would like to see more of the. Yeah, so Brendan Smith gets credited with the assist. Rooney carries the puck in and just sort of throws a harmless shot on net that rebounds into the corner. Good work by Rooney to go collect the puck. And then Vitaly Kravtsov feeds it to the point. Rooney manages to get back to the front of the net, and deflection on his part. So it was a good goal for them to round out the second period, and then just fell apart in a couple minutes. That was like one after another.
I think it was 3 goals in 3 minutes, they said.
That and all from their big guys. I mean, I always hate when they say like this guy hasn't scored in like 15 games whenever they play us, because it seems like that's the dude who ends up getting a goal, honestly. And that was Josh Bailey. Hadn't scored in 6 games, but also out with a little bit of an injury, and he scored 2 for them. So if you're the Islanders, this was a big statement game. And I think to your point, you could tell that we played the Devils because there's a little bit of a lull, and we didn't quite have that snappiness in our game. And like I said, after the first goal in the first 3 minutes, it was sort of off to a humdrum pace for sure. But
well, I think a couple of things we want to highlight here is Varlamov had a good game. He definitely played well for them. He knows Sorokin's been playing well, so if he gets the call, he's going to play hard. Another thing I wanted to bring up, Igor was coming into the game 0-2-1 against the Isles lifetime. So he didn't have a very good record. Obviously, now he's 0-3-1. But my question is, do you think Georgiev from that game on Sunday was still feeling it? Or do you think Igor was the best man available for the job? Because if I was Quinn, I might have thrown Georgiev out if he was feeling 100, because he has a better record lifetime against the Islanders. What do you feel about that?
That's a good question, man. I think with the back-to-back against the Flyers, you're going to expect to see Georgiev in there, at least for one of those games. I think it's Shesterkin tonight, so possibly Georgiev tomorrow. But look, man, Igor had been riding a good streak there, and he's your number one guy. So it makes sense that you want to give your team the best chance that it has to win. Maybe moving forward, if you play the Islanders, next season.
I think we have 2 more games against them.
Yeah. And to the rest of the season, you want to put in the guy who gives you the best shot, which maybe spilling over into next season, you see less of that rivalry that we talked about with Shesterkin and Sorokin, and maybe more of just who has a better record or who gives you the best shot. And maybe barring the back-to-back, you put in Georgiev, but I think with expecting to see him play this week, that would maybe be a reason why he didn't play. But I mean, their score sheet is off the charts. All these guys were involved in points. A lot of people with multi-point games. Yeah, and points from their blue line. So when you ask what could we have done better, I mean, sustaining some pressure. A lot of it was some. They always talk about in the games that we have the high scoring opportunities, the breakaway shots, that we don't get enough pucks in deep. And I think it was the opposite. It was a little bit too much of like throwing that puck in and trying to go collect it, and having no real second effort to go collect it on the boards, because there's a lot of turnovers in that regard. And then when the whistle blows, not having the chance to collect it on the face-off. So
it looked like they
seems to be the story.
More. They hustled more, and like we were bad on the penalty. Another thing, Trouba going out, he's been pretty good for us. Hits defensively, making stuff offensively happen. So that was a big loss, that he looked like he took a big hit there right at the end of the period. So that didn't help us any.
Dude, it was frightening to see his legs like give out on him. He like wasn't ready to stand up. And he, like you said, you can feel the weight of him not being on the roster.
In the locker room.
Not only that, but I mean, like you said, he's logging big minutes, and you could just see us sort of scramble after his him not returning. So it'd be interesting to see how many games he's out for. And moving forward, an exciting addition tonight is Zach Jones joins the lineup for his first NHL game, coming off of a newly minted entry-level contract. So I'm sure he's going to relish in the moment, and he's a prospect that we've been really excited to see. Been drawing comparisons to Adam Fox lately, so definitely a name that is good company to be in. We'll see if he can keep up the scoring that he had from college hockey this year.
I like it. Well, we got a big game tonight. We got the Flyers. Do you know who they have in net? I know we have Igor in tonight. I think Carter Hart is still injured for them.
Be interesting, man. That's been the story for this season as well, not really having the great goaltending. And what a disappointment if you're a Flyers fan, falling out of the playoff picture. And I think soon they're going to be mathematically eliminated from the we have a shot. We need some help. Like, this has been the story the last few shows. We need some help from around the league, but Philly's sitting there with 47 points right now. And the closest spot to them is the same for us, being Boston at 58 points right now. So they're going to need a miracle to get into a playoff spot. But I am definitely rooting for whomever is playing the Bruins. I think they have a few games against the Sabres to give us some sort of a shot tonight and to capitalize on these points.
Well, I think those are good points that you bring up, Steve. Obviously, for the Flyers, it's a disappointment where they are in the standings. For us, we're more of a half full kind of glass kind of thing. We knew we'd be looking in. We didn't know where we would be. So I think we are still in a good place for us this year. We're not like the Flyers where we playoffs or bust, but they're going to come out fired up. They're still playing for a spot too. So we got a big game tonight. It'll be fun to see Zach Jones out there. Really excited to see him. And I think that's all we have today for the block.
Yeah, man. Big games and back to back. So we'll probably see you tomorrow for another one, and then maybe again the next day. So see you soon, man.
All right. Thanks, Steve.